Alright guys, we actually have a really interesting video regarding Infinite Warfare for the new Call of Duty 2016 game, and actually what we're going to see for this game, because Polygon Call of Duty, they basically have this deal, well, a lot of like news outlets have this deal where they go through and they have special interviews with Call of Duty, and they do these huge articles basically talking about, in this case, Infinite Warfare, all different aspects of Infinite Warfare that we never really heard about. A lot of really cool in-depth stuff if you're into the storyline, and just stuff about their sort of motives and goals for creating the game and creating the movement and creating the feel and all that insane stuff. But this article especially was really weird. I saw this tweet. This is the exact tweet I saw to make me make this video, because I was just like, wait, what did they just say? This is the tweet from Polygon, okay, the official Polygon account, and we're gonna go through the actual article talking about this. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare feels more like a World War II game set in another century. What does that even mean? Okay, so let's just, before anyone says anything here, I'm just as confused as you guys are. So Infinite Warfare, it feels more like a World War II game, okay, a World War II game, World War II Call of Duty, any World War II game, but in a different century. So it's World War II, but in the future. What does that even mean? Okay, so let's just go through. We're going to go through the article. We're going to go through the different aspects of this and what they're really talking about. And obviously, I'm not going to read everything here, but I'm going to go through the sort of central theme that they've been pushing. And I'm not saying, like, don't say Activision paid them to say this. I don't think nothing was paid here. Nothing was a paid promotion. They're not just saying this. There's obviously some sort of reason they're pushing this. And I do understand partly why they're saying this, and partly Infinity Ward's like motive to actually get this out to people. And I do understand probably why they're actually saying it's a World War II game, but set in a different century. So here's another little thing they say before the article starts. Boots on the ground meets zero gravity. I think that's more with the space missions in general, because obviously we're not seeing zero gravity in multiplayer. We're not seeing zero gravity in every single campaign mission. It's just in those space missions, but they're keeping true. And you've seen within tons and tons of interviews, however many interviews they have done with different news outlets and gaming outlets and stuff, where they have said, okay, we're in space, we're in the future, but we're trying to keep it as grounded as possible. And they're going through, they basically talk about the actual writers' histories, who have two people that actually worked at Naughty Dog, stepping themselves into war films and classic Call of Duty games, and they really understand the whole genre, and they're putting Infinite Warfare with those same like old style war themes and old style war movies, but just with a different sort of setting. And that's what we sort of thought about before. We were originally saying, okay, we have space, we have this futuristic setting, and I'm going to go through there's a point in the later article, it's actually really interesting. As we go through the article, you'll see more about the stuff with World War II and all that insane stuff, but they're trying to keep it as like real as possible. I'm actually like giving them some sort of hope to actually make it like an actual Call of Duty game, because again, it's in space, they have this theme, but they talk about the actual Naughty Dog developers being on this, a lot of narratives and writers for this, basically going off of old movies like Saving Private Ryan. You have a ton of insane stuff, just newer, older, really anything involving World War II, any sort of war theme. They're going off of the sort of normal war theme that we've seen before, but just with a different setting, a sort of a different narrative to some extent, but with the same grounded experience that you've seen within war films and then also within Call of Duty. So that's obviously a pretty general statement there. That's basically what they're trying to go for. Now they go for who's in charge, as Captain of the Retribution, the warships. So you're basically basing around this warship. So you're going in and out of this warship, we understand that, and that's obviously not a hugely futuristic. It is pretty futuristic, the fact that it's a warship and you're going back and forth with these space type vehicles, but that doesn't really explain the World War II setting. They base it off of more of the storyline and the actual feel of the game. Let's go down here. I'm going to skip the Star Wars part, because it basically talks about the actual sort of in-flight campaign that you see with the Jackal, that you drive around and you go around and fly around in space and you do all this insane stuff, and you sort of I guess attack these different carriers, these enemy carriers throughout space, and whatever's going on there, that's basically what you're doing in the space. But here is the main part. Okay, here's the part we've been looking for. I'm going to read this whole thing here. We're going to talk about what they're talking about. So, Infinite Warfare feels more like a World War II game set in another century. Here's the main thing. And again, if you want to look at all the other storyline stuff to the game, and we'll go back through that again and really look at, you know, what they're actually doing to make it seem like an older Call of Duty, but at the same time, just a newer futuristic game. This is what they're saying. Players will also have ETH.3N, which is a robot soldier designed to be the perfect soldier basically for anything within combat. He's programmed with a personality to construct that allows him to integrate with the group of soldiers and basically just almost be like a normal soldier but have these perfect qualities. And they go through, they go off of Rayad's personality, realities of his struggle to lead. There'll be band of brothers within this Call of Duty, blah, blah, blah. Difficult decisions reinforce the conflict that comes from balancing the mission and ensuring that no soldier gets left behind. And here is the mention here. Despite the futuristic setting, the dazzling technological military wonders that are at the core of Infinite Warfare's battles, it's the human characteristics that seem to be one of Infinite Warfare or Infinity Ward's biggest priorities. And this is going into sort of going back to the same style and the same feel of Call of Duty that we've seen time and time again, and putting less sort of focus on the robots and the futuristic like warfare, but just the actual human qualities and the human conflicts as well. And if you don't know, Black Ops 3, a main point of that was like, okay, what happens when humans get technology and technology takes over and all this insane stuff? This almost seems like the opposite. This seems like humans are fighting, but they're just using space warfare, and they're using futuristic means to actually fight each other. So that's pretty interesting. This is what they said. We want to take this, we want to make this familiar, but into the unfamiliar at the same time. So again, a blend of the boots on ground combat meets sort of sci-fi type space battles. So there's really nothing like it in the actual like market, I guess. You can have point and shoot shooters that occur in the future, but you can't have a point and shoot one that's actually grounded, and it actually makes it so the authentic soldiery feel is still in place while also having the space theme. And again, it really isn't it's a confusing effort. It's a confusing thing to actually say, because they're taking this hugely futuristic turn to Call of Duty. We've never seen this space theme, but at the same rate, you have to think, well, okay, they're focusing on making the game feel as sort of grounded and leveled and real as possible. The conflicts are between humans, not between robots, not between space battles, even though space battles are there. It's just such an insane thing to actually mention. So it is really hard to actually give us a good sort of feel and understanding of what you're actually going to do. Let's see. In many ways, Infinite Warfare feels more like a World War II game set in another century. You'll battle an unsympathetic enemy, and you'll do it soldier against soldier. Again, focusing on the human against human conflict. Despite, you know, all the stuff within space, you're focusing it between humans and humans. Now, this is another really interesting comment here, what they talk about, and it goes against everything that we've seen so far. Now, they talk about this stuff with the, just feeling grounded. They're putting this over and over again. You have the set def soldiers. They talk about the storyline of the soldiers. But then you have this. Boots on ground feel here. The superpowered exoskeletons of Advanced Warfare and the swarms of flying drones within Black Ops would feel out of place within this world, in this alternate but familiar future. So this future setting is so different, apparently, that the exoskeletons of Advanced Warfare and the swarms of flying drones from Black Ops 3 and stuff like that would feel out of place. And that's just a weird thing. So again, obviously confirming that we won't have these crazy insane exos, we won't have these crazy insane drones and robots and stuff. It's a really interesting concept, and it's hard for them to really convey what they're doing, and I sort of understand what they're trying to get out to us. We're in space, we're in the ground, we're on Earth, we're doing different stuff, but at the same rate, it's like real as possible, almost as, maybe even more real than Black Ops 3 was with all the drones and robots, and obviously than Advanced Warfare was with the exoskeletons and the sort of flying around, the thrusters and all that. So it is just an insane thing that they're actually doing. I just don't know. I don't know. It still is confusing, honestly. I understand what they're going for, but I need to see more gameplay. I need to see more, just sort of like an understanding of what they're actually trying to do, because saying that you're in space, you're in the most futuristic setting we've ever been, but at the same time, it's more real than Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare. I don't know. It's just insane. So we'll have to see what they do. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and if you're watching right now, put below World War II, just WW2, did I say 3 W's? WW2 in the description, in the comment section. I don't even know what I'm saying. So I can see the accounts that are watching at the end of this video, and I don't know, let me know what you guys think about this. I mean, Infinite Warfare, World War II, it's just so weird. Obviously, it's not going to be set in World War II, but they're basically basing it off of that time period, but just with a space setting. Who knows what they're doing? So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.